Well, welcome back, everybody, to Bear's Rod Shop for April the 29th, a gloomy, rainy 3 or 4 days here in Texas. And we're back on part 3 now of the DRO scales. And we were on the y-axis in part 2. And yesterday I decided to pull that scale and reader off the back of the unit. And I needed that extra 1.5 inches. And this guard is going to get modified even for the front. Could have took off at least probably a half, maybe 5/8, and pulled the shims out and got it closer. But I want to gain that 1.5 inches that this was taking up. Let's get this out of the way. That'll be another modification. And let's get down to what we were doing today with this Wung-Fu, and turn this around and let's get busy. All these column mills, everybody that has one, a concern to me, and may be to you, is the oil ports. Now the bed has 5. You got them down here up underneath on the adjustment here for the screw, down here on this end for the screw, and here. These are fine. Even though this is going away and this is going to get powered, putting this scale on the front does not bother me at all, because when we come in here, I'm going to use a wheelchair handicap 24-volt DC motor that only sticks out the shaft plus the head about 3¾ It's off of a smaller handicap chair like for a child. I have some of the larger, and it would stick out 5 inches, about where the handle is now. But then it's going to drop down right beside the bed. All my motor controllers and everything will be up underneath the bed out of the way, or as far as maybe even the wall. But that's not what today's agenda is about. Today is the concerns I had with myself. How was I going to oil this bed without removing the scale? And now somebody's going to be scratching their head. Well, I never thought about oiling the bed. Well, that's critical to these mills. You got to do is keep service. So what I've done, I actually was videoing earlier, and the video stopped and run out of battery, had to charge. And you'll see this is red Loctite on here right now. The chance of getting that out to re-show you is going to be slim and none. But remove this oil plug here, threw it away, and I come in here with a 5/16 cap screw, and here it is right here. And this was a dog point. Actually has a slot in it. Let's turn it over. And there it is. Now that's where this will be permanently sealed with the 518. No, we're not going to advertise for Loctite. 518 gasket maker. That this is oil proof. And when I insert this plug in there in its final resting place, it will be flush completely and not hinder in with that tube. Now, some grinding is required for this method. I went in here and ground back. I only took like probably less than 3/16 out, and because the 3/16 tube, I was going to drill and hit in here on where these stops go. I don't need these stops; they're useless to me. And you get to learn to live without these. You won't need these stops. You know, with a DRO and with power X and Y. They're useless, to me anyhow. But anyhow, I had to grind this out. And this tube is basically, let me get it over here to you. It's steel brake line car tube. I mean, you know, yes, it's got an anodized finish. And you're saying, well, he's using aluminum. Well, let's put this right here a minute. And let's put the magnet on here. And you'll see it's steel. Steel bed, steel brake line. I didn't want aluminum and I didn't want brass. and I had plenty of brake line for projects. So anyhow, when you take this in, just be careful. Work in here. Don't bury that grinder in there. You know, to be show off. I could have went to the trouble to take the bed off, I guess, and went to another lathe or mill. But no, just reach in there real carefully with a nice grinder. Clear that. Yeah, I got a little wide because I was carrying a 4-inch grinder. I should have used a 2. That would have been plenty. And I'd had to run out there in the soaking rain and fired up the air compressor to use an air DA. But anyhow, now on the top, that tube is down to allow, let's set this thing down. This little cap screw here, and it's got an Allen socket 3mm on it, and it's a M6. And once you drill this tube first, then you'll have to open this up for whatever plug you're going to use. I wanted to have this so I could get, hang on just a minute. Let's go right around the corner here. Because not everybody's got these and they sell them. Yeah, we're going to get over here a minute. I'm an old Mercedes lover and mechanic and for years. And old Brian probably over there at BC Block 02, he'll recognize this. This is what we grease our door hinges on Mercedes with, and it works great. It'll hold oil. And then you would take this plug off, and when it was even on the oil port, you push in and out, man, you can oil this bed in a heartbeat. You don't have to fight trying to put an oil can. Get rid of this thing here a minute. An oil can up there. Same with the oil ball, or the bell balls they call them, I guess, for the screws. Same. You got 5 oil ports. But let's get on back with what we're doing here. And since that's Loctited in already, you will see that I am barely up off the bottom. And that tube, I wish that video hadn't crashed. Let's get over here to the drawing board real quick. And let's go over here to page that's blank. Yeah. That tube is like this. And then it's ground upslope. And the reason this is, if you looked at it from the side, this is ground back. Not holding the camera very well. It's just like a Ventura on a 1-barrel carburetor. Oil wants to come out here, and it is headed to the rear of that oil port, and that oil port coming in from the face looks just like this. When you open that hole up, you'll see, here's the bed. You'll see it coming in here, and it turns down into the channel. So I wished I had not Loctited that in yet, but cut you a little Ventura up that 3/16 brake line, so that oil is going to start dripping and heading in towards the channel instead of just straight down. Now it will go in there straight down because you're going to have a plug in it. But that's today's agenda, putting this out here on the front, gaining room for the rear. And then also later on, we'll not get into this parts yet until later in the year, maybe even this fall, before I do the Y power and also the Z. Now the Z up here, I'm going to use one of those small servo motors, but it'll be hooked over and tied into our control panel here off of the variable frequency drive. Make life a lot easier. And really happy with this mill. Love the Inco maybe a little better because it was stouter. It had a bigger quill in it in 1980. This is an 03. But we're enjoying this, and let's see if we can set this up here just for a minute and get this thing down here. If you like our channel and you like what we're doing here on the Wung-Fu 30, as far as addressing the oil port and have any comments, please send them to me. I'll try to address them in a timely manner. And also, our subscribers, hats off to you. Thanks a million for subscribing, and all our viewers. Visit us on Facebook. Hit that notification bell, please, and for more videos coming. And y'all have a great day. Y'all people that are up the Ohio Valley, the storms that have rolled through here are nasty. 3.5, 3-inch hail, about 18 miles to my east. We were thankful that it missed us. And anyhow, y'all have a great summer and spend some time with them kiddos. One last look here at the little way Bear come up with to fix this. And like I say, it's simple, and that cap screw goes down just below the bed. You'll collect little shavings in there, but nothing air compressor. Make sure you countersink, chamfer that hole a little bit, make a nice, neat job. And y'all come back and visit Bear's Rod Shop. We're out.